Welcome to Fat Tire Advice with Gary Ross.
Hi, I'm Gary Ross from Fat Tire Repair Shop. Don't let a flat tire ruin a great day of riding. We'll show you a few things on how to fix this bike quickly so that you can get back on the trail. One of the things you want to do is put the chain in the small sprocket. Then disconnect the brakes. Also, what you can do is put the bike upside down, that way it balances itself. The reason we put the chain in the small sprocket is to make it easier to get in and out. And your hands don't get messy either. Now, first thing you want to do is get the tire off the rim. Sometimes you may need the use of a tire lever, or you might just be able to peel it off with your hands. Just taking off the screw to the valve. This is a press-to valve. Press-to valves are European valve, and Schrader valves are like what you'd find on a car tire. Carefully inspect the tube so you can find what caused the flat. Then you can either patch it, or what I prefer to do is just put in a whole new tube, because this way you know it'll hold air. Now, you also want to check the tire real quick to make sure there's nothing stuck on the inside to poke that new tube. Get out your new tube, place it inside the tire. Now, when placing the bead back on the tire, make sure the new tube is not going to get pinched in between the rim and the tire. And you can do that by lifting up and sticking your finger in and making sure it's out of the way. And next, put the little bolt back on the tire valve. You have to open up the valve on a press-to valve, unlike a Schrader valve that automatically opens by itself when you put the pump on it. What I like to use is a quick fill cartridge, and what that is a CO2 cartridge that installs inside this handy little pump-like device, and you're good to go. Now you're ready to put the tire back on the bike. And the reason we put in the small sprocket is it makes it easier to get the axle back in the dropouts. And make sure the quick release is nice and snug. Now it's time to hook your brakes back up, so this way you know you can stop. Sometimes though, you may have to open your quick release and have proper space between your brake pads. As you can see, you could be back and riding on the trail in no time. I'm Gary Ross from Fat Tire Repair Shop. Come on down and see me for any of your cycling needs. We're located at 130 Main Street in the town of Dillon. See you on the trail.
This has been more Fat Tire Advice with Gary Ross here on KRSN Channel 10. Welcome to Fat Tire Advice with Gary Ross.
Hi, welcome to a Fat Tire Repair Shop. I'm Gary Ross with your Fat Tire Advice. Today we'll demonstrate wheel truing and rounding. Why? The reason we true and round wheels is to enhance performance and lengthen wheel life. Truing the wheel removes any lateral displacement. Why? The process of repairing this untrue wheel starts with selecting the right spoke key. Keys on the left are individual spoke keys, which are great if you're working in the shop. The tool on the right is a multi-keyed spoke tool, which is perfect for on-the-trail repairs. You can carry it in your fanny pack or your saddlebag. Tightening or loosening the spokes will move the rim and bring the wheel back into true. The process of rounding is similar to truing. This ensures the wheel is not egg-shaped or oval. As you can hear, the rim is hitting the truing stand. Rounding is tightening or loosening the spokes to bring the rim as close as possible to perfect roundness. Now I'm tightening the spokes to pull the rim away from the stand. Once your wheels are true and round, I'll see you out on the trail.
This has been more Fat Tire Advice with Gary Ross here on KRSN Channel 10. Welcome to Fat Tire Advice with Gary Ross.
Rollin', 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 rollin'.
Sure is getting warm out. Might have to take off a layer.
Rollin', 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 though the streams are swollen.
Hi, I'm Gary Ross, out for another early morning ride. It's quite a bit chillier when I started out this morning. Good thing I bought these layers for me. That way, now that it's warm, won't be overheated. Now, nice thing about most of this stuff is it'll fit right in your pack, or you can fold it up, stuff it in the back of your jersey. To go over this again, my gloves, my jacket, my arm and leg warmers all fit nicely into my pack or my jersey pocket. It looks like a few clouds have moved in. It's a good thing I have this gear with me, so if it cools off or we get a Colorado rain shower, I'll be more than prepared to stay warm and dry. If you have any questions or need any of this equipment, come see me at a Fat Tire Repair Shop at 130 Main Street in the town of Dillon. Have a good ride.
This has been more Fat Tire Advice with Gary Ross here on KRSN Channel 10. Welcome to Fat Tire Advice with Gary Ross.
Hi, I'm Gary Ross, back on the trail again. One of the most common problems is a broken chain. The first step in repairing your bike is to get off the trail so other people can get by. Here's your broken link. Carrying the right tools makes repairing the chain an easy task. Chain breaker will allow you to pop out the pin. Take the old piece and discard it, put it in your pocket, throw it in the trash later. Now we can reconnect the chain. Using the same tool, we'll reconnect the chain. Now that your chain's back together, you may find that link is stiff. In order to correct that, use the second set of teeth on your chain tool and give that pin a little nudge. Put the chain back on and you're ready to ride. I'll see you
on the trail.
More Fat Tire Advice with Gary Ross here on KRSN Channel 10. Welcome to Fat Tire Advice with Gary Ross.
Hi, I'm Gary Ross with the Fat Tire Repair Shop. Not only is it important to have the right equipment and tools with you, it's also important to have the right food. When I go on a ride, I like to bring some liquid fuel with me, a little Cytomax, and some goo. It's very easy to digest and it gets into your system quickly. Liquid foods such as Cytomax or goo are great for a shorter ride, but for an extended ride, 2 hours or more, solid foods such as Peak Bars, Metrix Bar, Iron Man, or banana are great foods to carry with you. It's important to bring the right foods with you to maintain high energy levels for a great ride. For all your energy needs, see me at a Fat Tire Repair Shop at 130 Main Street in Dillon. Have a good ride.
This has been more Fat Tire Advice with Gary Ross here on KRSN Channel 10. Welcome to Fat Tire Advice with Gary Ross.
Hi, I'm Gary Ross with your Fat Tire Advice. There's a few things you should do besides pumping up your tires before you go for a ride. The first thing you want to check is your headset. Do this by locking up your front brake and rocking the bike fore and aft a little bit. If you feel any play, you should have it adjusted. Next, you want to check your wheel bearing sets. You do this by grabbing the wheel and wiggling it side to side. If there's any play, you should have those adjusted. Then, we check the bottom bracket. You do this by grabbing the crank arm and wiggling it side to side, much like the front wheel. Finally, spin the wheels to check for trueness. Also, check the brakes front and rear to make sure that they hit the rims properly. The reason we do this is to make sure the bike works at its highest performance and safety levels. If everything's in adjustment, you're ready to ride. If not, see me at a Fat Tire Repair Shop at 130 Main Street in the town of Dillon, 468-2747.
This has been more Fat Tire Advice with Gary Ross here on KRSN Channel 10. Welcome to Fat Tire Advice with Gary Ross.
Hey. Hi, I'm Gary Ross from Fat Tire Repair Shop, out on a night ride. And we got two different headlights with us tonight. We have our helmet light and we have our handlebar mount.
Here my friend Damon is doing a pre-ride check. This should be performed before every ride, day or night. It's especially important at night to ride with at least 2 people. The buddy system is in effect, and if anything should go wrong, there's someone else to lend a hand or to go for help. Always make sure you have plenty of water and snack food. Even without the sun, it's important to stay hydrated and fueled. If you wear your helmet and go with a friend, night riding could be good, safe, and fun.
On Thursday nights, we have a shop ride out of a Fat Tire Repair Shop, and that meets at 8 p.m., 130 Main Street in Dillon. And bring your bike, bring a helmet, bring a friend. You can always demo a headlight and go out and ride with us.
You can buy lamps with battery gauges like this one, so you know how much juice you have left. Be sure to watch out for any obstacles in the trail, like rocks, animals, photographers. And if you're riding along the road at night, it's good to have a blinking rear reflector to alert vehicles to your presence. Also, by having 2 lights, you give yourself a backup so you're never left out in the dark. The most important thing on any ride is to make sure you have the right gear so you can ride home safely.
Good ride, man.
Good ride. Hey, thanks for coming out.
Yeah.
Of course, it's always nice to return safely to a Fat Tire repair shop. And as always,
I'm Gary Ross from Fat Tire Repair Shop. See you on the trail.
This has been more Fat Tire Advice with Gary Ross here on KRSN Channel 10.
Hi, you're on the trail with Gary Ross from Fat Tire Repair Shop. Today, we're leaving the Old Dillon Reservoir trailhead approximately 2 miles west of Dillon. It's a short climb up to the reservoir, so let's go for a ride. Once you've gotten to the top of Old Dillon Reservoir, you've gained about 300 feet in elevation in about a mile. From here, you can go explore other trails, have a picnic lunch, or just kick back and enjoy the great view. Come on, let's go see what we can find.
You've been on the trail with Gary Ross from the Fat Tire Repair Shop. Have a great ride.
Hi, you're on the trail with Gary Ross from a Fat Tire Repair Shop. Today, we're going to ride the Keystone Gulch Road, an out and back trip, can ride up to about 15 miles. The Gulch Road is a gradual climb and is usually open by about mid-June. The Gulch Road is perfect for a beginner mountain biker. Also, this road is accessible from the chairlift at Keystone.
Hey, is that Gary Ross from a Fat Tire Repair Shop?
I think so.
Get out of here!
At about the 3 mile point, you'll reach the base of North Peak at Keystone. From here, you can continue on, accessing the Colorado Trails and West Ridge Trails and the top of North Peak. For beginners, I suggest turning around here because it does get steeper and it is above tree line. So let's head on downhill and have a great ride. Keep your speed to a reasonable limit. There are a lot of blind corners. You've been on the trail with Gary Ross from a Fat Tire Repair Shop. See you on the trail. Hi, you're on the trail with Gary Ross from a Fat Tire Repair Shop. Today, we're going to ride the Oro Grande Trail to Fry Gulch from the trailhead here in Dillon. This ride is approximately 6 miles in length one way with 1,000 feet of vertical climbing. It's an intermediate ride, a challenge for a beginner, or a good spin for the advanced rider. Let's ride around these buildings here and follow the trail. This is your first major intersection. Go straight here. To the right will bring you back to the paved bike path along Lake Dillon, making this a short loop. After riding around the landfill, follow the single track down to the public shooting range and power station. At your next major intersection, turn to your right. If you go to your left here, it'll take you to some serious climbing. Here we are at the intersection of Oro Grande Trail and Fry Gulch. From here, you've gone about 6 miles from the trailhead. You can continue on this road
or go to your right and drop Fry Gulch into Keystone and take the bike path back. You've been on the trail with Gary Ross from Fat Tire Repair Shop. Hope your ride was a good one.
Hi, I'm Gary Ross from Fat Tire Repair Shop right here in downtown Dillon. Today's ride, we're heading up to Montezuma to ride loop number 7 of Montezuma's Revenge 24-hour mountain bike race. This ride is approximately 13 miles in length with 3,300 feet of vertical climbing. From the trailhead, right up the hill past the barn. There are a lot of side roads, but the one we want to follow is Forest Service Road number 275. Be prepared for a steep, bumpy ride all the way through the ghost town of St. John's. Please respect all posted and private property signs here. There are a number of water crossings, but most are very shallow. Continue riding and enjoy the views if you can catch your breath. You will eventually ride through the trees and above timberline, where the steepness of the trail increases. This section of the trail requires both excellent physical conditioning and expert riding abilities. It is a good idea to bring plenty of food and water with you, for this is a very long ride. If you begin to get tired, sit, stop, enjoy the view, rest for a while. The road eventually tops out at General Teller Mine. From here, ride along the Continental Divide. When you hit this T intersection, follow the signs in Forest Service Road number 5, downhill, back to the town of Montezuma. This will be a quick ride out. If you have any questions, see me at a Fat Tire Repair Shop right here in downtown Dillon at 130 Main Street, number 5.
Hi, you're on the trail with Gary Ross from a Fat Tire Repair Shop. Today, we're going to ride from Dillon to Frisco on the paved bike path. This is a great ride for beginners because it's only about 8 miles round trip with very little elevation gain. It's also a perfect ride early in the season because the bike path is plowed by mid-April. We're at the parking lot on Lodgepole Street in the town of Dillon, right next to the lake where the bike path starts. So, let's go for a ride.
This section of the bike path hugs the shores of Lake Dillon, offering some spectacular views. There are also a lot of blind corners here, so please use common sense and be courteous to other people.
Always slow down and obey all traffic signs. Stop if need be. Watch out for cars.
As with any bike path, always ride to the right and in single file.
This is where the bike path and the dam road meet in Frisco. This is a great turnaround point, or if you like, you can continue on to Breckenridge or Copper Mountain.
This section of the bike path has a few places to stop and rest, including historical sites and an osprey viewing area. You've been on the trail with Gary Ross from a Fat Tire Repair Shop. See you tomorrow.
The hardest thing is preparing for the race. It really is. Once you just get on your bike and ride, it's actually when everything just cools down, you can just relax and have a good time. I have a huge crew and they take care of everything. Food, clothes, bike, the whole bit. All I have to do is ride my bike. So I have to hope to live up to their expectations.